Gamescom 2022 was a blast.
Hello, everybody!
Book now and be part of this crazy ride. Because we will be back. And for Gamescom 2023, we're gonna crank things up. Boost your business. Don't miss out to be ahead of the game. Don't miss out to be part of Gamescom.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 102. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community, and we got a lot of teasers. Every single Dev Chat until end of August, I'm going to be pitching it. I will be with the 11th Hour Games team in Germany end of August for Gamescom 2023. So excited. I want everybody to tune in. I can't wait to show off what we're going to be showing off. It is going to be a great time. End of August. Okay, here we go. We're actually going to start Dev Chat 102 with teaser number 1.
And it's a turtley boy.
It's a turtle. The
How you doing?
big turtle.
Wow, turtle.
It's kind of like an eye in its forehead. I think that's an eye. Looks like an eye. This is a new mount coming to Last Epoch. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a new mount.
Right.
Somebody will believe that. Mike drops a little map teaser.
We are working on. This is one of the things we've been working on this week. Is the mini map on like lighter areas, like you just can't see it at all there.
He comes invisible.
And like you can see it here with this darker background. So like having something that's like adaptive, or just like finding the right mixture of Eye of Newt and Tail of Muskox to make.
At least you have a map overlay. Now we're going to allow Mike to ramble for a little bit. Ultra rare items. Listen to this.
Hey, how's it going? I hope you guys are having a great week. I am having a great week. I was wondering, what was your view on the super rare Uber Uniques or super rare Affix Uber Shards from Design Stand?
Grandfather.
Well, would it work on Last Epoch? Is there one already? Thanks, keep the great work. Yeah, so I think that there's room for like super chase items. And this is, I'm basically just parroting what they said in the D4 stream. So I'm assuming you're talking about the D4 stream here. The D4 situation. Having them, and this, I'll tell you how we've also tried to solve this problem and how we may not have been perfectly successful with that and all this sorts of stuff. Because this is a very difficult problem to solve here. So you
Correct.
have, I think there's like an extremely fine line where this feels fantastic, and like a tiptoe over the line one way or a tiptoe over the line other way, and the whole thing just crumbles. And you can be like unbelievably close to it being great, and it's just awful. You know, like it's so close. So there's this like, there's this big desire and big need for chase items to happen in the game, things that require high powered characters, require like putting in some effort to like really get there, having them be chase items, things that you're aspiring to get that maybe you're not guaranteed to have, things like that. But I think the subtext request there is, and I this is sort of like how I feel about it myself. What I'm talking about is like, yeah, I want these super rare things to exist, but I want to find them.
Me too.
and you can't, everyone can't find them. If there's these chase things to happen, like it can't be something that is expected to be found. They're chase, you know, like these are not things that you should be like, I'm gonna plan my build around having this chase item. And I think that's where the big problem comes in, is that when you start having these very powerful chase items, well, like by definition, that kind of like turns a build on. It kind of like makes it work awesome, right? And so there's this, you're trying to make these chase items that are rare but not too rare, powerful but not too powerful, and also fun but not too fun, because then everyone wants them. And it's like, everything's like a, there's this like too good line on like 3 or 4 different axes that you can cross. Too good's the wrong term, but hopefully I'm making sense.
You're making sense. I gotcha.
And so I think there is room for things like this to happen. And one of the ways we've tried to incorporate this a little bit is in our exalted items and legendary items. So you can have these versions of these items that are that provide their unique effects and functionally enable builds and functionally enable and enable certain functionalities, but then getting like LP versions of them to get more stats on them, so that they're better items. They're these chase versions of these same items that are very difficult to acquire, and they're cool, and it's like, oh, you got like a really good version of that. And I think the like
the 4LP Aaron's
like,
Will
perennial example of things like this is just wide roll ranges, or several roll ranges and several wide roll ranges in on high tier items that are like accessible but still really difficult to get super good versions of them. So like I guess I'll use Spirit. I think is actually a pretty good example of this in a Spirit Runeward in Diablo 2. It's a very low tier item. It's really easy to get a Spirit weapon, and the shields are not that bad either. You just gotta find a white Monarch shield, and you know that usually get one of those by the time you play through the campaign. And but then getting a perfect 35, 25 cast speed, getting 2 perfect ones it's kind of a chase thing. You know, like it takes a while to do. You still got a Spirit Shield. It's not terrible to do, but like it takes some time. And there's tons of other examples in Diablo 2 Runewords and things like that. And
I'm going to let him go for a little bit.
Have these versions of items that are the same thing with smaller numbers, effectively, that you can get to turn on your build and have it be functional. But these super rare versions are out there. Now, where we may be stumbling a little bit with this is the point that we've like put the player expectations on. This is just it is this thing I have to kill. Great. The point that we've stuff's happening. That was weird.
You can kill him, Mike.
The fact that a 4 LP Ravenous Void exists might be a mistake. Like, no one has found a 4 LP Ravenous Void yet on live. I don't know for certain, but no one's found one. I'd put money no one's found a 3. I'd suggest probably no one's found a 2 yet. You know?
I've never seen a 2.
But the fact that these technically could exist, even if they're just like this, it's the same item with just like slightly better stats. But the fact that it is theoretically possible, but practically impossible for the even above average or like hardcore or try hard, like dedicated, committed player, it's possibly problematic. And I'm not sure the best way to like properly communicate what the expectations of the item tier and rank that you should be able to get are. Because if someone's just like going on to like Last Epoch Tools or Tunk Lab or some other third-party site that's like lists out all the possible items, or you go into a build calculator and you're like, what could happen? Like pie in the sky, what's my best in slot for all these things? And then you look at this like best in slot pie in the sky perfect build, and you're like, I literally can't ever expect to find any of these items because they're all so unbelievably mega rare. But I can find 95% versions of these that are basically the same thing, but just like not quite as pushed. And it becomes a little less satisfying.
I'm going to stop Mike there because I think he goes for a while longer, and this video is going to be super long now. Basically what he's saying is if a build is defined by an uber rare item, it is not good. If you have to find a grandfather for the build to work, that's not good. But if you need a Ravenous Void and makes the build work, but then the ultra rare is a 4LP Ravenous Void, technically you could still find that, but it's not build defining because the base item is what is build defining. And technically inside of Last Epoch, no, there is not that super rare chase unique that is 1 in a billion. But getting a high-end unique with LP is just as rare as anything inside of D4. So that's kind of the design philosophy behind it. Next teaser. I'm sure you're going to love this.
For sitting through that, because that was rough. This one, okay.
Look
I
at him.
didn't make this.
He made it. No, he didn't make it.
Stay with me.
That's it. Yep, there we go. Hey Mike, Judd mentioned there's
this is the actual teaser
coming in 0.92 that internally is a team favorite. Yes, I read that this morning too. Is there anything else you can share, and is it a favorite of yours?
If you missed the question, Judd mentioned in the morning yesterday a new fan favorite movement skill is coming to the game.
It's a favorite. I think that it's one of my favorite movement skills. Yeah, I think it's a ton of fun. It's not my favorite movement skill. Shift is still my favorite movement skill. But I think it does a lot of really cool mechanical stuff that is fun and interesting, and I just did the skill tree for it. Well, not on my own. I was working on implementing the skill tree. Be clear on that. And I think there's a lot of really cool, mechanically interesting and unique stuff happening in there. Had to develop some new tech to make it work, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's interesting. It's base. It has. Let's give a tag tease. It has a tag that is one of these things, and can be converted to another one of those things, and possibly another one of those things. I think it has three different versions.
Damage move skill coming soon.
Have you considered adding random encounters to monoliths? Like Butcher and Treasure Goblin D4, you'll give some excitement to otherwise monotonous farming. Yes, we have. I've yes. I don't know how else to say it.
Yes.
We do have plans for. I call it unexpected content. Things that just. Yeah, random encounters, unexpected content. Something where you hop into a monolith and you don't know it's going to happen before you start. As you come around the corner, hey, something unexpected, cool. Implied quests, that's what I call treasure goblins. Where it's this like, hey, this is a cool thing and I'm going to run from you. So the quest is, catch me and kill me before I blow up, or before I disappear, before I escape. And so yeah, that style of content is something we are working on and will be seeing show up in the not too distant future.
In the not too distant future. Final teaser. And I just want to say, I normally know what this stuff is. This, I have no idea. No idea. Is it a chest that you open, a cache? Is it like a
All right. Here's a little teaser for
vampire
ya.
coffin?
I died. And I offered my penance to you in this concept art.
No, it's a chest. It's got to be a chest. Hello disappears
I may
before
have just
opening.
slapped the image and have been like, I'll see it when it's on stream. I can't see it, it's too tiny. That's cool.
Yeah, it's got to be a new chest.
Oh, I know what this is. I know what this is. I really like it when they put the little like the material references in there in the concept art. Big fan.
I know what it is. The Warlock's a vampire. And this is where they go. Now it's probably a new chest you get to open. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for Dev Chat 102. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It sets EHG apart from all these other studios, how well you communicate with the player base. I love it. Excited to spend time with the team in Germany and Gamescom end of August. Other than that, if you need anything, hit me up in Discord. I get asked over and over again, what's the best way to support? Patreon is the best way. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.